Moving on now, and the Marble Arch area is set to receive £2.5 million of investment over the next 5 years. It's after it was chosen to be a business improvement district, a scheme which aims to boost trading conditions and enhance a local community. Kay Buxton is Executive Director of Marble Arch Business Improvement District and joins me now. Now, Kate, this was picked after a ballot of businesses in Westminster. Why do you think it was chosen?
We've been promoting the bid for about 3 years and working with businesses. We balloted 128, so those businesses took part in a referendum over 31 days. There was tremendous support for improvements in the area. I think we've chosen a number of themes that have really resonated with businesses around stewardship, improving the environment, providing extra eyes and ears in the environment, but also looking at trading conditions, looking at the state of the street, and the area it covers does include Transport for London road network, the inner ring road, obviously quite a lot of traffic in the area, and there was a real common sense approach taken by businesses who supported it, so we're very excited.
So what are the main challenges that businesses are telling you that they face in that area?
Issues around pedestrian safety, the way that people move around the area. There's lots of aggressive begging, organised begging, particularly at night around the Edgware Road area, so people who work in the area don't necessarily feel safe in the evenings in the area. The hotels that the tourists stay in there, we've got about 4,000 hotel bedrooms in the area, and we need those people who stay in hotels to feel safe in the surrounding area and not be intimidated by aggressive begging or rose sellers or the sort of things that happen in London at night. And this is one of the areas that doesn't have an existing business improvement district, so tackling some of those sort of issues. Footfall is quite an interesting one. The peak footfall time in the area is around sort of 4 till 7 p.m, so the restaurants and shops aren't really doing a great deal of business prior to those hours. So some of the work we do with connecting the people that work in the offices to the restaurants and shops will make a big difference, and obviously improving pedestrian accessibility helps that as well.
So this is happening over the course of 5 years. So what are the first things that we're going to see and be able to, I guess, make advantage of?
We'll be putting a uniform presence on the street, and that's a key one for improving the environment. Westminster Council and Transport for London do a fabulous job at keeping the environment safe and attractive, but we'll be adding to resource there. I mean, public sector resources are never going to be the same, and things are going to get worse. So by providing new a team that's gathering evidence and reporting things in means that issues get dealt with more quickly and prevented. So we have problems with fly tipping, we have problems with waste. That will all be dealt with much more efficiently, as we've got a team on the ground helping Westminster and giving Westminster the information and getting it moved more quickly, which again has an impact on people's behaviour and how they perceive the environment locally. That's one of the first things. There'll also be a night team, and they'll support restaurateurs dealing with some of the organised begging, because the restaurants in the area all have posters up saying, do not give to beggars, no beggars welcome, but it still happens. So we'll be doing training with restaurateurs and also supporting the staff and making sure that we can actually eradicate some of these problems, but working with surrounding neighbourhoods so that we don't deal with displacement. We don't actually just move people along to the next street. That's not what we want. We want to deal with working with New West End Company and working with Paddington now, so working with our surroundings to make sure that we don't just move the problem around, but actually tackle it.
And this is one of a number of business improvement districts in Westminster. What's the impact on local businesses, as they have to shoulder a bit of the cost, don't they?
They do indeed. They voted to pay. That's what the referendum's about. And they'll be paying 1.25% of their rateable value, so it's about 2% of their business rates, and that's capped. No business pays a contribution higher than £25,000, and the minimum amount would be about £880. So it does vary. We have 4 schools. The schools are discounted; they get an education discount. So we have 4 schools, and they all voted yes. They're affected by exactly the same problems outside their premises that businesses are. So we're looking to raise about £500,000 a year. So not in the grand scheme, not in the same level as some other the bids in Westminster, but still nevertheless quite good. And we're the 49th in London and the 8th in Westminster, so very excited.
Okay, Buxton, thank you very much indeed for explaining that.